Finality. Finality being the fact or impression of being an irreversible ending. A tone or manner which indicates that no further commitment or argument is possible. An action or event that ends something irreversibly. Finality is the word that comes to my mind whenever I think about or describe foldables to people. Whenever I close my phone, I'm done. The action that I have attempted to complete or successfully completed, it's over, it's finished, it's done. There is a finality to the action of snapping a phone closed. I hear other reviewers use the word finality to describe what it's like to hold and to close and to use a foldable, but they often don't go into such great detail to really describe what the finality means. What does that word mean? Or more accurately, how does it apply to you or to the phone? I would use the word finality instead of the word closure, because closure has a connotation about it. It's something that can never be done again. It's something that is an absolute. It's over, it's done. But that's not accurate. When you close your phone, you've completed the action that you were attempting to complete, but you're not fully done with it. So closure isn't the right word. That's why I would choose finality. Think when you leave work at the end of the day and you say goodbye to your boss and your coworkers, and your boss tells you, "See you on Monday." There's a finality to that conversation. You have finished what you're doing for that day, but you're still going to be back on Monday. The week is coming to an end, but it's not such an ending to where I would call it closure. Think about in your college days, if you went to college, or even in your high school days, if you're still in it. Think about the paper that you spent weeks working on, or maybe you had the weeks to finish it, but you didn't actually finish it, and now you're scrambling last minute, and you get the final words down on the page, or the final data into the chart. You hit the submit button, and it's done, it's in, you've completed it. You are relieved, it's over with. I would call that another example of finality. You close the lid on the laptop and you slide it away from you. You're done. There'll be more assignments and more projects and more things in your future, but you're done. It's over, it's complete. There's a finality to you closing the laptop, usually with its click or its snap of magnets. It's done, it's over. Think about being a kid. Maybe you sat in the back of your parents' van. Maybe you remember being in a car seat and you remember playing a game on a handheld, like a 3DS or a Game Boy SP. Maybe you're old enough to have had a Game Boy that had a light that snapped closed down onto the device. Either way, you play a game and you're fully engrossed in it. It has your entire attention, and the world kind of leaves you. The world leaves your attention. You are engrossed, you're immersed, you're in it. One might call that immersion. And then maybe a parent turns around and says, "Hey, what do you want?" Because you're sitting in a line at a restaurant in the back seat of the car, and you hit the pause button and you close the device. You close the 3DS. With that satisfying snap, it's closed. You're back into reality. You're ready to ask for your meal. You're ready for that treat that was promised to you. And you get it. And it's sitting in a bag on Dad's lap up in the front seat. And now you have to wait. So instead of begging, because you know it won't get you anywhere, you flip that 3DS or SP back open and you're resumed back into the world you were just engrossed in. These are what I would consider examples of what finality means to me in the context of a foldable. There's a definitive, decisive end to whenever you finish whatever action you're doing. You're not just hitting a button and a screen is turning off. You're closing it. It's a very haptic feeling. You get snaps and clicks and magnets. Folding a sheet of paper or folding a towel or even folding a laptop don't have the same haptic, strong, juicy haptic that closing a foldable does, or even the 3DS I previously mentioned. Think about a ring box. Maybe you're about to propose, and that box that snaps open and snaps closed. That spring-loaded haptic feeling you get from opening and closing that box over and over again because you're nervous, because you want to ask them, and you're ready to ask them, and you've done the planning, and you've got this box that you fidget, and you snap it open, and you snap it closed, and it has that haptic spring to it. I would consider haptic to be a very important aspect when it comes to technology. I would argue that if you look at the MacBook, for the length of time Apple has used its Force Touch technology, which relies on haptics to simulate the feeling of making it click when you touch the touchpad. That haptic technology is something that is very important. Those same haptics are just as important here. In fact, I would say closing the phone at the end of a phone call is very satisfying. It's deeply satisfying in a way that just tapping the screen or clicking a button does not provide. And it's this kind of haptic motion and movement that really makes the foldable stand out. I happen to have my hands on a Z Flip 3 and a Razr foldable from 2020, and they both carry with them that extremely satisfying click and snap when you finish whatever action you were working on. As a side effect of this folding, flipping motion, you get to experience using a foldable like we used the old Motorola Razr back in 2009. Not only in closing the phone at the end of an unpleasant interaction, but also in the flipping open maneuver where you use your thumb to fulcrum the device open and the strength from your wrist to flip it open.